Okay, so we're having the discussion on why whites, because people ask me that. Two different people ask me, why do whites hate blacks the most? So let's get into that discussion on why whites hate blacks the most. So why do you think white people hate black people the most?
Well, it's because they feel inferior to them.
They feel inferior to blacks?
Yeah, they feel inferior to blacks, so they know that black people will dominate over them if given the same resources and opportunities. And
But what about Asians and other, groups? Don't they think that they'll dominate over them? How come they don't mess with them like they do blacks?
No, because they don't feel threatened by Asians or Hispanics.
Why not? Asians aren't stupid people. How come they don't feel threatened by them?
Well, for one, like the physicality of Asian men or Asian women, like Asian in general.
Listen to me. The reason why whites hate blacks the most is that we're the only group of people. What the fuck is that? Oh, we're the only group of people that can physically dominate them. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
That's the reason that whites hate black people the most. We're the only group of people that can physically dominate them. I don't give a fuck what they say, because if you look at sports and all that, we're the only people. Like, we even dominate tennis. Like, when there's black guys that very few black men play tennis, and we had James Blake and Arthur Ashe, and there is no other argument. That's the bottom line. We're the only group of men that can physically dominate them. Mexicans can't dominate them physically on average. Asian men on average can't dominate them physically.
Asian men on average are smaller.
Yeah, Asian men are very small. But I'm talking about physically. We're the only ones that they cut our dicks off during slavery and stuff. Like, other people were enslaved too, not as long as us. But we're also the only people that they cut our dicks off. And that's an inferior reason to do that.
Right.
Why else would you?
Because they envied that part.
Yeah, why else would you cut our dicks off? You know what I mean? And then there's people in Alabama today that have a black man's penis in a jar, like really old white men that have and it's like been passed down through their family. Mm-hmm. They have a black man's penis in a jar today in Alabama today. So they envy the black man's penis. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's really big.
But we're the only group of people that can physically dominate white people, and they know this.
That's why they feel they have to keep putting like black men in dresses, like on TV.
Yes, to emasculate us.
Yeah.
Yes, because they don't do that to Mexicans. They don't do that to Asians. We're the only group of people that they try to put in dresses to make us more feminine. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's the only reason, because they beat most blacks out economically. You know what I mean? Like, financially, on average, the white man makes like, more money than the black man.
But that's forcibly. I'm saying, like, black men don't get the same opportunities.
No, of course we don't. But what I'm saying is that I've got great opportunities myself. But I'm saying the average black man, you're right. But what I'm saying is that that's the reason they hate us the most. That's the reason they fear us the most, because we're the only group of people that can physically dominate them. That's why they're so gun happy. That's why they love guns and shit, because that's an extension of their penis. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Like, or lack thereof. Like they love guns. They love a gun, and that's, to me, a gun is cowardly. Like,
cowards love guns.
Yeah, you love a gun because why do you love a gun so much? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't know, maybe you're afraid of an ass whipping or just whatever. The point is that they feel real powerful when they have these guns. Right. Does that make sense? So
you need like a supplement kind of.
Yes.
Like, so the gun is like a supplement to your, lack of physical.
So what I'm saying is that's the main reason why white men hate black men the most, because really, like, we have no history of hanging white men or nothing like that. We've never really did anything to white people, period. You know what I mean? So for you to hate a group of people the most, that's why, because we're the only group that can physically. That's why when you hear white men get the most mad when they ask a chick, "Oh, have you ever been with a black guy before?" And then when the white girl goes, "Yeah, I've been with a black guy," he's like, "Oh, we're done. You know what I mean? Real shit. That really happens." So that's because they feel inferior to black men. They feel like that black dude's dick was, demolishing her box. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And they feel inferior. They don't do that shit when a white girl's allowed to date Asian guys before she gets with the white guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The Mexican, she could date Mexican dudes. You know what I'm saying? But they only have a problem when she dates the black dude. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That is a physical thing. So that's the reason why white men hate black men the most. It's a physical thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's my piece. And you guys leave a comment down below. And I'm sure I'm going to get some haters talking big shit. That's okay. I'm ready for it. And that's the bottom line. You can't argue that. That is a fact. And like I said, leave the comments and I'm ready for the haters.